You infuriate people with your stupid comments.
It's my show. Can you put the camera on me, please? He's just a co-host.
People say you do things for the ratings. They say you do things for controversy.
That David Icke's a nutter.
I love that.
It's very difficult for people to talk about this kind of stuff.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
What do you turn us off when you get bored?
He's out of control.
He is.
Are you watching Silent TV? Right, let's go then. It's Big Al and the Doc and special guest Steve Jones. Hello, Steve.
Hello, both of you.
I really don't know where to start today, Doc.
Well, it's a tough one. We should, I suppose, set it up just for people watching. You, Steve, we met you at the Mega Wheels show, and you are one of the few experts and enthusiasts in dustcart enthusiasts in Europe. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And you know, well, you just told us there before we came on air, you originally you worked for Hounslow Council, and I keep saying this is kind of half a joke, but it's not really a joke. In 1980, you worked for London Borough of Hounslow. You then applied to get on the bins, but you didn't get on the bins till 1988. Is that right?
87, 88 full-time.
Yeah. Full-time on the bins.
Yeah, I was a spare man.
And
87.
During your holidays, while you were working for Hounslow, you would come down to the island, you were just telling me, and actually go out on the rounds with the bin men on the island.
Indeed, yes.
In the end, you started bringing your overalls down,
I
Steve.
bought my orange overalls, all orange
And
overalls.
the orange overalls that you're seeing, if you just lean back just a foot or so, the orange overalls you're wearing today, these are proper period overalls from the late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah, 70s, 80s.
So when you, and of course the reason you're at the Mega Wheel show is because you have restored a nice, is it a Sheldroke?
Shelvo Condrury Revo Pack.
Right, Revo Pack, which is, it's a beautiful machine, isn't it?
It's a dust cart at the end of the day. Right, now you must look in that camera there, Steve. Just glance in that camera. Imagine that is another guest in the room, because the audience at home want to see you, because we're on channel 219. And, of course, we're taking calls on the phone in, 01983 822 002. We need to talk, we want... The thing is that the Doc and I want to go green. We want to start recycling. We want to know what's best, bins or wheelie bins, you know, dust bins or wheelie bins. And
we want to know a bit about the history of waste management, because it's something that's part of all our lives, and we know things are changing. And of course, it's been big news recently that in some parts of Britain they're now going over to fortnightly collection. Some weeks they're collecting apparently the organic waste, and then the rest of the waste is collected the week
and
after.
you can get fined for putting the wrong bins out, in the wrong plastic bags out in some parts of the country as well, Steve. And we want to talk about your home, which apparently Suggs from Madness told us a few weeks ago is a shrine to dust carts. So maybe
Refuse collection memorabilia, yes.
So where do you live? Sandown, is it?
I live in Lake, yeah.
You live in Lake, so just outside Sandown. So what is it about your home that makes it so special for people who like dust carts?
It's really photographs and models I've collected over the years, cuttings from waste magazines. I've got scrapbooks full of all different things, different lorries I've worked on and gone to look at. I've got photographs from
when did the interest actually start? You know, like
I've always had the interest, back preschool years.
You see, when I was a little boy and I, for a little while, lived in Ealing, I remember the old Express Dairy electric milk floats. Now, I liked them, but I liked them, A, because they were better than walking, and B, as if you upped the milkman, he gave you a few bob. That is my interest in electric milk floats. Whereas you seem to have developed a sort of slightly different interest.
Fetish, almost.
Yeah, it's the vehicles.
But how old were you when you suddenly, you know, like we would have, when you're a 5-year-old, I suppose the dustman
I
came
was before 5 years old.
No, most kids then, when you were young, Steve, wanted to be either astronauts or cowboys.
I didn't. I wanted to get on the dust carts. In fact, I would be given a ride along the road when the dustmen were, it was all metal bins in those days, they were emptying the bins, and I'd be given a ride in the cab with the driver, and my mum would be walking alongside the lorry.
Really?
Be showing me how everything worked, and
obviously
looking in the mirrors at the guys.
Deeply,
yeah.
And that was meant a lot to me, and gradually I used to go out with them in the summer holidays, unofficially, of course.
And how old are you now?
Me, I'm 43 now.
Right, so you're 43. How many years were you actually on the bins for?
Full-time on the bins? 3 years, actually.
Not long, you didn't
Not
last
long for a man
actually
who
on the
lives a lot.
passion.
It altered an awful lot. They altered it an awful lot.
But
We
why are you
ended
not
up-
working on the bins on the Isle of Wight now?
I've got my own company, my own business. I've put a lot into it, so
What's your business then?
I do grounds maintenance work.
Yeah, but why are you not doing the bins? Because your passion is doing the bins.
I've got my own lorry to look after. I've got 2 actually.
So you don't want to work on the bins now?
Got a bit old for it, I think, really now.
But Steve, come on,
43?
43, you've got years
It's a
ahead of
hard
you.
struggle, but I've put an awful lot into my own business, so I wanted to keep that
And we
running.
know, but why didn't you see? If I were you, I'd be the new Tony Bacon. Do you remember Tony Bacon?
Yeah, I remember Tony
The late
Bacon. I
Tony
remember
Bacon.
when he started his business up with
Well,
his...
why didn't you come to the island from Hounslow and set up your own
It's
refuse
not
business?
as easy as that. It's not as easy as that. There's too many people into it. You're not going to make much of a living out of it. You're really not. The expense of the equipment, keeping it all going, dispose of the waste afterwards. It's a very cutthroat business.
Because it's harder on the island than other places because we've only got the waste disposal, the tips on the island are controlled by Biffa,
Yeah.
who Island Waste, who also got the contract, a 10-year contract with the council to do all our refuse disposal.
Well, we're going to get calls today, Steve, because you tell us there's a lot of people that you say you're not the only one who's interested
Certainly
in
not
bins.
the only one,
So
no,
we
it's-
want to hear from other people who are really, really interested in dustbins and dust carts. Have you got a collection of dustbins and weedy bins, or...
No, I've just got some old metal dustbins I took as a show to sit on as seats, really.
Then they're
But,
good, because you put the dust cart out there at the show, and then
yeah.
you put the old bins around
bins
it,
around
making it
it,
look
yeah,
more authentic.
just made it, it looked authentic, and we used them as seats, really. But there was, I don't actually collect bins, no.
Right. The thing is,
That'd be a bit weird.
there is a SD, Shelve Oak, is it Shelve Oak and Drury?
Shelve Oak and Drury.
There is a website, is that right?
Hang on,
Yes,
what's a
correct.
Shelve Oak?
It's a make of refuse vehicle.
Well, like a Dennis. Like
Oh,
a,
I know what
You know
Dennis
what
is
Dennis
from Guildford,
is?
yeah.
Yeah, well, they're actually made in Warwick now. They originally came from Guildford, now they're actually based in Warwick.
Who, Dennis?
Dennis's are, yeah.
Right.
Right. Shelve Oaks were the original company who started making refuse vehicles back in 1922. There were 2
In
engineers in Britain. There were 2 engineers, both worked for other companies, Harry Shelve Oak and James Drury. In their spare time, in a barn in Hertfordshire, they manufactured in the evenings a small, low-loading vehicle with very low wheels, which when they got enough of them made, they left the companies what they worked for and set up their own company, Shelve Oak and Drury S&Ds.
And are they still
Hard-working
making them
guys.
now?
No, they finished in 1991.
Oh, nice
they
run,
closed.
though.
But this company, they were like the Rolls Royce of refuse vehicles. Everything was hand built right to the end. They built a machine called the Shelve Oak and Drury Freighter for 1922, and that took out the horse-drawn cart for refuse vehicle. It's very low loading.
Did they make their own engines or did they buy them
At
in?
one time, they made their own petrol engines,
Crikey.
and they were tiller steered. The first ones were tiller steered. I've got some pictures of them in the.
What does tiller steered mean?
Well, like on a
you had
barge, a
2
narrowboat.
handles.
Oh. Dennis are still going, and I know, because English Pete, of
Dennis are the
course,
only
would like to know whether they're still...
company. Yes, the only company in mainland Europe making the cab, the chassis, and the body of refuse vehicles.
Because all the island ones now are Mercedes,
They're
aren't they?
Mercedes cab and chassis
Like the
with
fire
Norber
engines.
bodies.
Always used to
Is that
be
good?
Mercedes.
Bodies.
Is that good?
They're a mongrel. They're obviously 2 different companies. One makes the cab and chassis, one makes the bodies. In the past, I was never a fan of Norber bodies, but the RL 300s, what they're using now, are a good body.
The
What
Norbos.
what makes a good dust cart? What really turns you on when you're looking at dust cart?
Reliability, really, I suppose.
It's not to do with the
It's like any
design.
machine.
You mentioned with the SD, of course, they had small wheels. It was easy to load
That
through the
was
back
in
end.
the old days, yeah. That's obviously as they progress, they become on a normal chassis. Well, they're not a normal chassis; they're a purpose-built chassis for off-road use. They have to go on landfill sites.
Oh, of course.
They
Yeah,
have to
you
stop,
forget that
start.
when they finish the kind of local collections. They
They
then
go
go
onto
on
a
this
landfill
unstable
site.
landfill
It's off-road
site.
use. You drive a car around off-road, you'll smash it to pieces, really, won't you? The suspension, springs. But what also they do is they stop and start at every house.
If you want to speak to
If
Steve
you'd
the
done that
bin
with your
man,
car, you'd wreck your car. So
If you wanna speak to-
built from day one.